trying to start off 2025 right, one of the key things that will help speed up your health and wellness goals and stick to them is meal prepping. I know I personally fell off meal planning and prepping at home. We had family visiting and the holidays, but it's January now and it's never too late to get back on track. So I thought I'd bring you along with me on this meal prep Sunday as we reset, how exactly to set yourself up for success and achieve your health and wellness goals this year. So come along with me for this healthy meal prep that won't break the bank and that you can complete at home in under 2 hours. Let's get started. Okay, before we get started, you guys know I love my Nespresso machine. Let's get some caffeine in our system because we're gonna need it. In my last video, my friend Hannah recommended a brown sugar shaken espresso as the drink that I should try next, and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna whip up a double shot and show you exactly how to do that. Cannot tell you how excited I am to try this. One last touch, hopefully I don't make a mess, is a dash of cinnamon. This is ground cinnamon on top. I had a little bit too much. Let's give it a shot. The best one that I've made so far. Now that we're all caffed up, let's get started on what we're actually here for. In order to do all the meal prep, you're gonna need meal prep containers. I prefer glass ones over plastic ones because they last longer, they heat more evenly. I just finished washing and drying all of my meal prep containers because it's been a while since I've used them. So I'm gonna show you how to meal prep a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And this meal prep's gonna be for about 3 or 4 days. I'm also cooking for me and for Jacob. So this is going to be a meal prep for 2 people. Let's get started with breakfast first. This first breakfast that we're gonna make is breakfast muffin egg bites. These are so delicious. And the reason why I love this is because they're especially good for a grab and go breakfast. So you're gonna need a muffin pan. The number is up to you, but this one has 6. And then a bowl so we can mix everything all together. All the ingredients that we're gonna need: eggs, chicken sausage. You can also substitute turkey bacon instead if you don't like sausage. This is already pre-cooked. Spinach, some cheese, and for added protein, cottage cheese, seasonings, and a non-stick spray for the muffin pan. I'm just now realizing this is the first time I have used the oven since I moved in. Now, if that isn't a sign I haven't meal prepped in a while, I don't know what is. Okay, so depending on the tin that you have, you're gonna make this amount of eggs. So I'm gonna crack 6 eggs into a bowl. Make sure you get a nice sized bowl because we're gonna be blending in here. Now at this point, if you have a blender, you can get it out, but I'm trying to minimize the number of dishes I have to wash at the end, so I'm just gonna use a fork and mix it up by hand. Then let's spray our muffin tin. Just wipe it around. All right, at this point, we want to spread the egg mix as evenly as we can over the muffin tin. Wish me luck. All right, that did a pretty good job. Always clean as you go, so I'm gonna rinse this out. Oh shoot, forgot to blend the cottage cheese. I'm just gonna have to put a dollop in. Sorry, it's not gonna be blended that well, but trust me, you wanna blend it. Don't be me. The cottage cheese isn't mandatory, but it helps add extra protein. And if you're trying to get more protein into your diet, this is just one of the ways to do so. And it really doesn't add any extra flavor. It just makes it a little bit more creamy. Same thing if you do your eggs on the stovetop, you can always add some cottage cheese to it. I'm gonna mix that up. All right, I did as best as I can, y'all. Don't come for me. I'm not a professional chef in any way, okay? I'm just your everyday average person who has found techniques that work for me. I love meals that are really simple and easy. What has always mattered the most to me is food I will eat and that actually tastes good. Okay, next up I have sweet Italian chicken sausage. I also like the garlic sausage. This is from Trader Joe's. The reason why I love this chicken sausage is because it's already cooked. So I'm just gonna cut slices of this into the muffin. That's getting to be a lot, so I think I'm only gonna put half a sausage per muffin. If If you don't want to put sausage, you can also substitute turkey bacon. And if you don't want meat entirely, just skip that step. Next up, we have spinach. I'm just going to break this up by hand, put it on top. Last step is we're gonna add a little bit of shredded cheese. You can use cheddar cheese. This is a Mexican style cheese blend, so I think it has a few different ones. This also adds a little bit extra protein, but a little bit extra calories. So feel free to add if you want to. Once our oven is preheating, I'll go ahead and pop these in. I want to pop these in the oven for about 20 minutes until you can put a toothpick in and out and it comes out clean. It spilled the eggs in the oven. Don't be me, guys. Be careful. It was today that I realized I don't have an oven mitt, so I just got these out of the oven with some gloves and paper towels. I also cleaned up the egg that I spilled because we have more things we need to put in the oven, but this is how they came out. They smell really good. The pan has already cooled down fully. I'm just gonna take them out of the pan so they cool completely at this point. One thing is you always wanna make sure that your food is nice and cooled before you put it in the fridge so that it doesn't get any mold inside the containers and doesn't go bad. And once again, so I don't have a huge pile of dishes at the end, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this out right now. Okay, for this next meal prep, I'm gonna show you another breakfast option, show you how I meal prep a chia pudding yogurt bowl. I'm only gonna make one for tomorrow morning since that's all I have right now, and also I'm using frozen berries, which should stay in the freezer until you eat them. So as long as I prep them tonight, they should be nice and not too hard in the morning time. I also personally like using frozen berries because I notice, you know, day 3 or 4, they also start to get a little bit soggy. These are all the ingredients that we're gonna need for our chia seed pudding mix. You can use your milk of choice. I'm using almond milk, honey or maple syrup for flavor, up to you, Greek yogurt or a yogurt of your choosing, berries, almost forgot that. I used to only do yogurt bowls in the morning without the chia pudding, but actually what I found is that by adding the chia seeds to my breakfast, it helps with keeping me full without adding, you know, too many extra carbs. This is also perfect because, like I said, the best breakfasts are the ones that are kind of grab and go. And I like this alternatively to the muffins because sometimes you want a warm breakfast and sometimes you want a cold breakfast. And this one's kind of more of a slow eat. So like if you're gonna be sitting at your desk for a while and you want something to kind of munch on, that's when I think this is perfect. But local honey can actually help with local allergies as well. So I'm gonna use a ½ cup of almond milk. And for the yogurt, this is supposed to be about 1/4 cup, so I'm just gonna use the same ½ cup that I used. Again, trying to minimize the number of dishes to wash. That's about 1/4 cup, so I'm gonna put that in. Ooh. The best part, chia seeds are like magic. You're gonna use 2 tablespoons, but honestly, you don't have to be super specific with the measurements for this one. And you know what? I'm gonna eyeball the honey. Let's say a tablespoon. You can eyeball many things. Maybe honey's not one of them. I definitely over sweeten this. It's gonna be very sweet. All right, this is how it looks now. The volume looks really low, but it will really start to puff up by the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, already add in my frozen berries. On the back of this, it says a serving size is a cup. Beautiful. All right, next for the fun savory part, it's gonna be our lunch and dinner meal preps. So I have sweet potato, which honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't typically meal prep sweet potato. I just usually go for regular white whole potatoes just because that's what my family mostly cooked. However, there are so many benefits, especially for your skin, for using sweet potato. So I'm gonna try switching over, and I think if it's cooked right, I might actually enjoy it. First, I'm gonna put all my sweet potatoes in a bowl of water because they're very dirty, covered in dirt. So go ahead and grab a food sponge or like scrubber so that you can clean the outside of them. I do like eating my sweet potatoes with the skin on, so that's why I'm going to make sure that they're cleaned really well. So I'm gonna do this in the sink. Okay, I just finished scrubbing all the potatoes, and this is one of those situations where sometimes when I'm meal prepping, I get a little bit like overwhelmed or exhausted because meal prepping does take a little bit of time, but I try to remind myself that I'm saving myself time in the long run, that it's an investment of time and effort into my future, because tomorrow when I have my lunch already ready and I don't have to worry about what it is that I'm gonna eat or be tempted, more importantly, by something that's not going to actually contribute to my health goals, I'll be very happy that I set this time forth for myself. All right, let's get to chopping. So you're gonna want a super strong knife for this because potatoes love to go all over the place. I try to cut them in half first and then in 2 pieces. Let's just do like super big, large chunks. I'm gonna clear this out. We ended up with 1 less sweet potato than I thought because I just measured it out. This should be enough for 4 meals. So I think I'm just gonna run with this. Now what we wanna do is we wanna season these very well. So let's grab all our seasoning. First, we're gonna go in with any oil of your choice. I have avocado oil and I'm just gonna coat it so that it's kind of all over. I don't know how much that is, I can't measure, but I just poured that much. Next, salt, obviously. The pepper garlic mix. Extra garlic powder. What the heck, we'll add some onion powder too. And last, we'll add some paprika. This just adds a little bit of color and just a hint of spice. Now let's mix it up. Next, I have a baking sheet. We're gonna cook these in the oven. You're supposed to line your sheet. Actually, I didn't get any of like the sheet liner, but definitely use that so it doesn't get stuck. This is a pretty non-stick pan though, so I'm just gonna cross my fingers that it doesn't stick too much. So let's put it on. I'm gonna be real, I should probably have 2 baking sheets, but I only have 1 and it is a little overcrowded. So probably use 2 if you're gonna use equal amount of sweet potatoes that I used as well. But let's go ahead and put this into the oven. I don't cook sweet potato that often, but remind me next time to get it pre-cut because I think that would save a lot of time. These typically cook really low and slow in the oven. You can check on them after 30 and 40 minutes, but they'll probably be in there for closer to 40. You basically want to cook them until they puff up a little bit, and of course that they're nice and soft because they're a very tough, what are they, root? Vegetable? Yeah, till they get nice and soft. Once again, let's wash our supplies. Another reason I love having meals in my fridge is I feel like it really helps hold me accountable. I think one of the best things that you can do for yourself is have less decisions to make every single day. That clears up your mind for the more important things. And think about it, you have to think about what to eat like 3 times a day, maybe 4 if you want a snack. So it's nice to have all these things in your fridge already prepped because it helps lighten the load of what you have to think about, like where am I gonna go eat, and it also helps with temptations, you know, like yeah, Chipotle might be down the street, but there's gonna be nothing faster than heating up my meal in the microwave or stove and it's gonna be ready to go. Plus you feel so much better and lighter when you eat something that's good for you. Let's go ahead and prep our other carb, which is going to be our rice that's gonna go together with the chicken. I'm gonna use jasmine rice. A 1/4 cup of dry rice yields 3/4 cup of cooked rice. So I'm pretty sure I need 2 cups of uncooked rice. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it in my rice cooker pan, but I'm going to make sure that I wash it out. You wanna wash out all the starches until the water comes out nice and clear. So we'll wash it until the water comes out clear. Okay, now that we've completely washed our rice, we have 2 cups of dry rice, so I'm gonna use 4 cups of water. But this time around, I'm actually going to use chicken broth. You can use chicken broth and add it to your rice. One, it's gonna add more flavor. Two, it adds extra protein as well. And three, it'll help with blood sugar spikes. I'm gonna do 2 cups of chicken broth and 2 cups of regular water. Also gonna add just a dash of salt. Now we're gonna move on to the veggies. All right, this next one's gonna be really quick and easy because we already have pre-cut broccoli florets. I love using my air fryer for veggies, so I can just put it on the air fryer, spray it down with some olive oil spray, and that's already one veggie out of the way. When it comes to what vegetable I would eat with any protein, it's usually broccoli. That's like my go-to. I feel like it's just such a versatile veggie. Okay, unlike the pan, I am not going to overcrowd the air fryer. I'll do 2 rounds in the air fryer so that we can get the other half done. I just realized I probably should have put all the broccoli in a bowl and seasoned it prior to putting it in the air fryer, but I'm just gonna season it in the air fryer now. I have a little bit more of a mess to clean up, but it's okay. So I'm gonna use, these are the staples I use for almost everything. Garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper with extra garlic. Olive oil spray, this will help it get crispy. So I'm gonna put it at like 325, check on it at about 5 minutes and we'll see how it goes. They cook really fast. Next up we have our veggies that we're gonna cut. 1 purple onion and 2 bell peppers. This is the exciting part when like we have all the pieces that are going at once. I think I'm gonna start with the bell pepper in hopes that I don't start crying with the onion. The white onion makes me cry, but I haven't really cut purple onion in a while, so we'll see. Very, very sensitive to onion. Broccoli out. I set a timer for 6 minutes. It came out just a little bit crispy, so I think 5 minutes is probably perfect for a 325 in my air fryer. So let's get it out and put the next batch in. Yep, my eyes are starting, y'all. All right, let's go ahead and get this on the pan. Avocado oil in. Whew, get this going. Really got to me, but it smells delicious out here. I really wish that you could smell this, and you will once you make this yourself because this is so easy and we are almost done. Next, I'm gonna show you the recipe for this delicious garlicky savory chicken, but I'm gonna go ahead and use chicken breast and then I'll show you exactly how to season it. I'm just gonna cut it up into strips. And also, again, if you're someone who doesn't like cooking with meats, you can also probably use the same seasonings that we're gonna use for things like tofu. You know, meat isn't your thing. Maybe you're like pescatarian and you can also use this flavored recipe to season salmon. I'm sure it would be just as good. This is how we're gonna want to season the chicken. Honestly, none of these measurements have to be like extremely precise, but I'm gonna start with adding 2 cloves of garlic that I chopped up. Next up, we're gonna add a little bit of rice vinegar. Not too much, just eyeball it there. Next, we're gonna add some soy sauce. We just wanna make sure that it's nice and flavorful, however much that was. You don't need to add this, you can just add regular soy sauce, but I'm gonna add a dash of, this is dark mushroom soy sauce, and it also adds just a touch of color that makes the meats look so delicious when they're done. We're also gonna add some honey. This is gonna add a little bit of sweetness to the savoriness. Something like that. Sorry, I don't know measurements. Then we're gonna mix that all up. The only thing that I don't have is ginger powder. That's the only thing I'm missing. The longer you can let this sit in the flavor, the better. Like especially if you put it in the fridge for a couple hours. But we're just gonna let it sit here for a small amount of time while we get the beef going. Let's do that next. Just need any type of second protein. This could be ground turkey, this could be beef. In this case, I'm using Angus beef 85/15. To be honest, this was the only thing left at Trader Joe's, so that's why I got 2 of these. Typically, I would try to go for a leaner beef if I could, but for now, that's fine. I like to season it when it's in the pan for this one. I'm also gonna use this cast iron skillet. I feel like it cooks the meat faster, and we've got large batches here. Y'all, this is actually so satisfying, seeing all the food out together. All right, so let's go ahead and plate all of our food together. So first we're gonna start with the beef. And if seeing that chicken didn't motivate you to make this, I don't know what will. Okay, I have a little confession to make about the sweet potato. See this? I asked my Google Home how much time was left. Remember how I told you it takes about 40 minutes? And she goes, "There's no timer." I was like, what? The timer didn't turn on. That's what I get for leaving it to technology. So anyways, by the time I remembered to check, they were a little bit crispy, but they're still good, okay? They still puffed up very nicely. You're always gonna make little mistakes like that, but the point is, it's edible. But you know what? We're not here to be perfect. We're here to take this day by day. You know, don't be afraid to make mistakes like that, especially when you're cooking so many things at once. It can be hard to keep track of everything. It's definitely gonna come with time. It definitely shows that this is my first meal prep back in a minute, but hey, that doesn't mean that it's not worth the effort and worth the try. I am so very proud of us and being able to accomplish this. And if that isn't proof that we're taking steps towards the right direction, I don't know what is. I hope this motivated you and encourages you to take steps towards bettering your health and wellness. Let me know if you try any of these recipes and if you like this video and if you'd like to see more. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!